All praise and honor and glory be to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the ones to the elder apostles. This is gonna be a part 2 of the lesson that is before this video. I was gonna get, so hopefully you watched the video before this video. This is gonna be a part 2. My camera shut off this lack of storage, so I freed it up. So I was gonna go into my name is Zakaria. Just throw it out there. I'm gonna go into the book of Ezekiel chapter 27. Ezekiel chapter 27, verse chapter 28. Just to give you an idea of this man's mentality. It says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because this is the same mentality that he had, right? This applies to him. It says, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up. So this man is proud, he's lifted up, he's lofty in mind. It says, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God. So the scriptures literally tell you, which applies to him, that this man, he is lifted up. He has a God complex. It says, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. So this man has a God mentality. So going back into the topic of this lesson, he do what he will, because he can, and he don't care who he hurt, who he injured in the process. Going to the famous quote, the strong do what they must, do what they can, and the weak suffer what they must, That's just who they are, if you will. And that's always been their mentality. They live and they prosper, they prevail by way of sword, by way of death and bloodshed. And look what he did throughout history. He changed history. He changed the times. In fact, it tells you that in the book of Daniel. So this man has to be put out of power. This book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. This is, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And that's what he did. And think to change times and laws. And that's what he did. Literally. This man literally changed times and laws. You got the Gregorian calendar. But it says, and they shall be given into this hand until time and the dividing of times. Joel chapter 17 verse 12, it says, they changed the night into day, the light is short because of darkness. And that's what he did. He done reverse everything. He made the good to look like evil, and made the evil to look like good. He has made wickedness acceptable, the new normal, right? The new standard, the new pattern in today's age. Going back into the scripture in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11, we call ourselves right. Oh, this is the GNT, another translation, the Good News translation. So I'm reading it in another version. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11. It says, we call ourselves right if we are strong enough to get what we want. That's a great translation, man. I couldn't say it better. We call ourselves white. That's how they think. It says we call ourselves right if we are strong enough to get what we want. So this man know that he could do whatever he wants because he can, because he have the opportunity and the ability to do it. And he don't care how wicked it is. He don't care how injurious it is, as long as it prosper and please his belly, his soul. And this is why it is said in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. So the soul, his mentality, his spirit It's not upright in him. You know? He's perverse. Now, well, how they say it, I forgot. I wanted to say a quote. Salaki. I don't know the quote. I'm gonna look it up. Bear with me. Fuck that quote. Salaki. Bear with me for the harsh language, the vulgar language. But you know, let's just get to the point. Let me stop playing. It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity," right? Which applies to Esau. It says, "Woe to the oppressors." So this is concerning Edom. This is applying to Edom. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity." And that's what he do. That's what he always done. That's what he's still doing. You know, I said I was going to touch upon it, the MOTB. Let me not forget that. You know, so that's what he been doing, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's looking to create a new world order, you know, and bring a digital currency, a cashless society where people will have literal CHIP implants in their bodies, which will ultimately make them slaves and possessions onto that beast system, onto that new world order. You know? And they will be owned. They devise an iniquity now. Look what they're doing now. You know, putting forth Black Swan events they going to. Right? Conspiring, scheming, wicked schemes. You know? Predictive programming concerning what they doing, what they about to do. You know? About to bring forth a grid default. You know? Catastrophe. You know? So this man devised iniquity. You know, look what he doing with the immigrants, what he's doing on purpose for some outcome, right? He deals with order out of chaos. He brings the chaos that he may bring order, or his sense of order, his sense of what's right, his standard, his pattern. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it." So they practice evil every day, man. Right, the elites, and it's applying to the elites. A lot of these scriptures, you know, this teaching is against the elites of Edom. You know, because you got the poor at Edom. They ain't doing shit. They don't know what's going on. But the elites, they doing the wickedness behind closed doors. You know, those that's in power seats, the rich and powerful. The elites, right? Right, the secret societies, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. It says they practice it because, right? It says they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So they do their wickedness because they know they have the power to do it. And because it pleases them. It says they covet fields and take them by violence. Look what he did with America. He coveted America and took it by violence. It says in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in the house, in his house, and even a man in his heritage. And that's what he did with us. You know, took our identity from us, our heritage. Right, and indoctrinated us. You know, so the Lord saying, "Woe to them," right? The Lord is about to bring evil upon America, which is ruled by the elites, ruled by Edom, so-called white man. He about to bring evil upon the Western world. You know, he about to bring wars, you know, and darkness over the earth. You know. So this man's a proud man. And this is why I said in the book of Salakia, when the wind got hard, man. You know, it just got real windy, Salakia. Psalm chapter 73, verse 6, this is concerning Edom. It says, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment." So that's who they are as a people. They're prideful. And violence, you know, it's their history, their track record, their footprint on the earth is full of violence. and it's going to continue being full of violence. So this is the current power. This is concerned the current rulership, you know, that is over us. And this is why there's got to be a transference of power. This is why this world got to end, because of all the sowing of evil, because of all the wickedness that overfloweth, you know, that was ultimately promoted and influenced, a lot of it by you know, different religions and philosophies, the different ideals and values, wicked values that the American people, the people in the world have, all influenced by E to some degree throughout history. You know, thinking, for example, what's one value? Thinking woman is equal to man. That's a wicked ideal. You know, which that's not a value, but it's a wicked ideal. You know, do what you will. That's a wicked ideal. That's a philosophy that came from it. In fact, that saying, "Do what you will," that really came from Freemason, a high-ranking warlock. If I'm not mistaken, his name was called Aleister Crowley. You know, that's his. I said his name right, and he was also known as the Beast. He was a high-ranking Freemason. You know, and he was a warlock. He dealt with witchcraft and sorcery. You know, he's somewhat the godfather of that world of the dark arts, if you will. A lot of the elites, right, they have reverence for him, I'm sure, you know. A lot of these celebrities, they have reverence for them. A lot of those celebrities that sell their soul, you know, a lot of those Freemasons that we know today, they have regard for Aleister Crowley and his work. And one of his sayings is, "Do what thou will." Basically lawlessness. Whatever please you, do it. If you can't do it, do it. And that's just straight wickedness. And this is why you have, in today's age, you have people who subscribe to I don't know the name. I don't even want to speak on it. Right, them damn Furies. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Them damn Furies. You know? You got, you know, Pride, the Pride movement. You know? If I'm not mistaken, I don't even want to say it. I ain't gonna say it, you know? But, you know, all types of forms of sodomy, you know, that's legalized and accepted and allowed and given freedom, if you will, or license in this place, you know. And if you know the other forms of sodomy, you'll know. So, hey, this man, that's what he lived by. Do what thou wilt. That's his law. That's his way of life, you know. That's his way of life. Do what you will. And that's just straight wickedness, you know. This is their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. Yeah, generational wealth, you know. You know, Esau, Edom, they were given the resources and the fatness of the earth. You know, and that's how they are able to make their weapons and stuff like that. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens. Yeah, they spoke against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They speak against the angels. You know, for example, iconoclasm. It says their tongue walketh through the earth. It says therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. You know? And they are influenced by Edom, you know? And this is what, you know, jump down to verse 20. 70, Psalm chapter 73, verse 20. It says, as a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. So the Lord despised Edom, right? And the Lord, he's going to get active in destroying America, right, and bringing down this society, right, and bringing it into this age. And that is prophesied all throughout the scriptures. Babylon the Great, which referring to America, the great whore being burnt, you know, the land of Assyria being wasted. This place is prophesied to be destroyed, which is ultimately the greatest kingdom of Edom to this date. Is prophesied to destroy it, man. You know? Because all the wickedness that Ed done, that America done, you know, which is a Edomite kingdom, even though you have different cultures and different ethnicities in this place, is always have been and will be an Edomite rulership, Edomite land, you know, and led, if you will. You know? So the Lord going to despise this man's image. You know? Let's get the NLT translation. It says, when you arise, O Lord, you will laugh at their silly ideas, as a person laughs at dreams in the morning. You know? So the Lord going to despise their way of thinking, man. The ideals, man. This society as they see it, as we see it, man. You know? And this is an unprofitable rulership, and this is why the Lord is going to destroy it. You know. So I'm gonna just end it. Let's just get this. Really, I could get this. Let's get this. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 24. It says, then cometh the end of what? The end of this age, the end of this world. When the apostles asked about the end of the world, that word world, you know, when you go into Matthew chapter 24, when the apostles or the disciples asked about the end of the world, that word world came from the Greek word, because the Old Testament was came from the Hebrew, the New Testament came from the Greek. So that word world came from the word aeon, if you will, you know, which means age. So it's not, the whole earth is not going to be destroyed, but only certain parts is going to be destroyed, right? And the different rulerships and power systems, they're going to be destroyed, but the whole earth is not going to be destroyed. You know, it's just the end of an age, the end of a rulership, the end of a power structure, you know, on the earth. You know, it says, then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God. So the elect, they're going to be saved or gathered by the angels into the chariots, into the flying spaceships of the heavens, you know, of God. You know, it's prophesied in the book of Matthew chapter 24, when Yahweh shall come, he's going to send the angels to gather the elect, you know, in the four corners of the earth, including America. And they're going to be gathered by way of those chariots, which the world know today as UFOs, if you will, which are ultimately operated by the angels. You know, so they're going to ascend into these so-called UFOs, which are not an alien thing, but rather a heavenly thing. You know, that idea of alien is ultimately a false concept that man made, and that is promoted by Edom, because he want to keep the people asleep. They want to make people believe that there is aliens, to draw them away from the idea of angels, by the idea of God and son and his son. You know, because whether you want to believe it or not, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and the angels, they are celestial. If I'm not mistaken, the word celestial means above earth. You know, ain't no such thing as aliens, man. They are celestial, meaning what? Belonging or relating to heaven. So there's heavenly beings, not no aliens, man. You know? So going back to 1 Corinthians, it says, even the Father. So we're going to be gathered into these UFOs, into the heavens, with Yahweh Shai, with all the church, with all the elect, with all the redeemed and saved. You know, during that time. This is when he shall have put down, and that's going to happen at the end of this world, which is soon. It says, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, right? Which is what these different rulerships, these different authorities and governments and power systems, right? These different militaries, all that is going to be put down by Yahweh Shai when he come back, you know? For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. And he's literally going to come as a conquering king. Revelation chapter 6, it speaks about that pale, not that pale horse, but the white horse. You know, so Yahweh Shai, he's going to come, you know, as a conquering king in righteousness. You know, and he's going to conquer the nations and overthrow them, literally overthrow them and consume them, metaphorically speaking, defeat them. You know, and that's where you're going to have the war in heaven. That a lot of people heard about, you know, that's mentioned in the book of Revelation. You're going to have Satan and his angels coming against Michael and his angels, which is ultimately concerning the militaries of the earth. You know, the militaries of Edom, the militaries, along with the militaries of the earth, coming against the heavenly army, which is going to be led by Yahweh Shai. So there's going to be a war, but Yahweh Shai is going to overthrow him, if you will. You know? You know, so the Lord, he's coming to do that, you know? He's coming to put them down. You know? He's coming to put them down. So I'm going to close off on that. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I will give the honor to the elder apostles and to the elder bishops and to the up-and-coming elders that rule well at GMS. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect. And salute, shalom, to the fellow laborers pushing his truth. In fact, you know, I actually wanted to, in fact, I did touch on that. I touched on MOTB. You know, this meant Esau, he have the ability to do that. You know, even though he got to get certain things out of the way and prepare certain things in order to bring the MRK of the beast and that cashless society, that digital currency. But he's going to do that. You know, and that's just another example of his wickedness. He do what he will. He do whatever it please him. You know, and that's what's going to end up to his destruction. You know, I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom, you know, to the elect. You know, peace and blessings unto the elect. Salute, shalom to the fellow laborers pushing his truth. Down to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and to the upcoming elders that rule well. My name is Zachariah. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Shalom.